Don't forget to collect $200 when you pass go. That's the famous tagline from the famous Monopoly game. Everybody knows what Monopoly is. It is a great board game, and it looks like Donald Trump loves it just as much because he's launching a crypto video game inspired by Monopoly. All the details of the new project are right here. Really interesting stuff because one thing is that in 1989 he launched Trump the Game, a personalized version of Monopoly. He's also been on record saying he's always thought that Monopoly was an extraordinary game. He slated an interview with the New York Post. Today, this is really going to now focus around digital and crypto. According to two sources, the project is set to have a video game mechanics similar to Monopoly Go, where users earn virtual money by moving around a digital board constructive of buildings and a visual city. So at the end of the day, it looks like Trump is embracing crypto and NFTs even further. He's trying to digitalize or create his own monopoly utilizing, it sounds like, virtual currency or virtual money, they're calling it in this actual article. The question I have is this going to move the needle for the Trump token by any means? Is the Trump token going to be integrated? I have no idea. I'm totally just speculating. We also know that Trump has had a lot of dealings in the world of cryptocurrency. His own stable coin, a decentralized project called World Liberty Financial. He's getting involved in Bitcoin mining. He also has NFT clothing, and he also has NFT trading cards where you could have had dinner with him at Mar-a-Lago. So Trump is definitely brought the blockchain, the virtual currency, just everything within the Web3 space to the forefront. He's embracing it, and now he's creating his own virtual monopoly. I'm definitely going to be very interested to see how this all pans out. Is the Trump token going to have any play here? Is there going to be any use cases for NFTs? Is it going to create these real estate properties you're actually buying in the Monopoly game? Are those going to be NFTs themselves? So you could do a lot of really fun and unique things around this game, around this virtual Monopoly, embracing crypto. But it's just, again, just the times we're in where the current sitting president of the United States is embracing Web3 and virtual currency even more and is creating the first ever virtual cryptocurrency Monopoly game. As Trump does all this Monopoly stuff, he's also in the headlines where, and this isn't really crypto related, but this is obviously macroeconomic related, and this has been getting a lot of pushback for a lot of years, is Trump is considering banning congressional stock trading. So Congress isn't going to be able to trade stock, and they pretty much, if you ask me, they're getting inside information, deals that the government signed, deals that may be coming to fruition, and they're buying up that stock. That's been a well-known piece of information. We've been hearing about how Paul Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi's husband, has out-traded some of the greatest stock traders of all time over the past few years. So there's definitely an inside edge there if you're in Congress and you can trade stocks. It's a double-edged sword because we want Congress to embrace the stock market. I don't want to take anyone's livelihood away from them, but at the end of the day, they have insider information, and that's not fair to the general public. So it's really interesting to see Trump is looking to ban the congressional stock trading, but this is also coming from a guy that right before he put a pause on the tariffs last week, tweeted out, "It's a great time to buy for a few hours," pretty much saying, buy these cryptos, buy stock because I'm going to make an announcement that we're pausing tariffs. And that's exactly what happened. So not really much to unpack here other than I am for any sort of like insider information to be stopped, and this is probably a good way to go about it, but that is something that is currently on the docket. By no means do I pretend to be an expert on the tariff and this trade war that's going on, and I don't think anybody is, but if you're in this world, if you own crypto, own stocks, you like to read about investing, if you're just curious about what's going on in the macroeconomic world, it's tough to get away because the talk of the town over the past few weeks has been tariff, trade war. Over last week, Trump said he was pausing the tariffs except for that 10% universal baseline he was putting on certain reciprocal tariffs at the end of the day, and it caused the markets to bounce, but he was still holding up against China. While this China-U.S. trade war has really escalated, with the U.S. imposing up to 245% on Chinese imports. This move was really in response to China, who retaliated with a 125% tariff on American goods. And the US tariffs combined 10% of this universal baseline and additional country specific reciprocal tariffs, leading to really the effective rate of 145% for these Chinese tariffs. Well, now China's firing back. This definitely feels like a game of chicken. Does feel like the overall crypto market, or Bitcoin in particular, is absorbing this trade news much easier than it was just a few weeks ago. A few weeks ago, you see something like China facing 245% trade tariffs, we would be skyrocketing in a downward path to the 70s. Does feel like this is just people are getting hardened. They're starting to understand that this trade war is going to keep going on, that China and the United States are really playing a game of chicken. Now, we've had some rumblings out there. Both China and the United States want to come to an agreement. Really, at the end of the day, it's going to be beneficial for both countries, but it is a power struggle going on in the trade war. And right now, China's facing 245% Trump tariff, which is a substantial amount. Definitely something we're going to be keeping our eyes on through these channels, talking about it on our rundown show, and we even have a private community where you can find and learn more about us down below. It's only $1 to get started, and we're talking about everything from the macro to trade wars to meme coins to NFTs to the hottest AI projects, really anything within the AI world, into the Web3 world. We're talking about it on a weekly basis. We'd love for you to join our community. Check out the link down below, and we'll talk to you soon.